the staff at INS believe that connecting to the community is important. Developing relationships has always been our success for over 40 years. We know that people like to do business with people they know, like, and trust. We look forward to meeting you at the next Chamber event.
Thanks for clicking through to another segment of Tech Talk here at the Cambridge Chamber of Commerce, and I've got with me the CEO of REM Web Solutions, Rob Matlow. Rob, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Great to see you, and I'm so excited. As you well know, I'm kind of this pumped up guy that gets all excited when new technology arrives.
Yeah.
And new technology arrived at the Cambridge Chamber of Commerce that you're responsible for, that you're going to take all the heat when it doesn't. No, I'm not going to give you any heat, but that you partnered with the Cambridge Chamber of Commerce to develop something very unique that you offer, of course, to all your clients. But you know, I think we've challenged you a little bit because of the size and scope of our website. But we're launching a new website today, and it was REM Web Solutions that championed the cause and built the whole product. And all we've been doing really is throwing our content on in the last few weeks. But we're so excited about this, Rob, and we're so excited because it comes with something incredibly unique that we've been after for a long time. As you well know, I'm a little bit of a control freak when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Sure.
I like to have hands-on. And you've developed a thing called Web Wizard that really gives me the control over my website. Why don't you talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, so we've now been doing this for just over 13 years. And 13 years ago, there really wasn't anything out there for the small business market that would allow them to very easily go in and manage the website themselves.
Well, you had to hire people. You
That's
had to,
right.
you know, you had to kind of almost build it yourselves in order to do that. And you know, it was always frustrating.
Yeah. People would be spending, you know, $100 here and there to dot I's and cross T's, and it was really just coming down to the fact that they didn't have the ability to do simple changes because they didn't have the technical skills. And so it was really about developing something that would allow people to easily go in and make these changes. So for a lot of our clients back then, it wasn't even just the fact that they were saving money. It was that convenience factor of having the power to go in, as you said, being a control freak as well. Lots of people are like that.
Well, I hate to admit it,
Yeah,
but you know,
but it's the reality.
well,
is a
it's
lot of people
important to
want
me.
Yeah.
It's important to me, Rob, because all of a sudden, you know, in the old days when you used to type something up and send it in, and they'd cut and paste and throw it up, and then you'd go and look at it and you'd say,
it's
"Oh my
wrong.
gosh,
Yeah.
did I really send that? Like,
Yeah,
get it
exactly.
down, get it down,
so
get it
whether
down."
you made a mistake or they made a mistake, there would often be a back and forth process that would drag on far longer than it needed to be. And these days, you know, with a simple tool such as Web Wizard, it allows our clients to go in minutes and make updates to their website without any technical skills. And I think the biggest thing we're proud of is that we've taken, you know, 13 years of understanding what our customers want and coming up with a product that really is as easy as it could possibly be, but still giving them all the tools that they really need.
I think it's unbelievable. Like, you know, Lisa, who manages our website and does all of our content, like, she went through the training process.
Right.
She came out of it and said, you know, I can't believe this. You know, it was a fantastic training process, very, you know, well delivered to her. And then comes with this manual. Yeah. She can sit down and go through the manual whenever she's got questions. Like, and it literally gives you full control of the site. Now, there's some areas, you know, that obviously you don't, because you'll mess up the look and appearance and flow and how it functions, but all of the content.
Well, the best part of that is when you do make a mistake that we're there to help as well. So part of our whole business model is being there for ongoing support for our clients. We don't charge anything for that. We've been doing that for 13 years. So
yeah, and that, she
we're
mentioned
trying
that
to
too.
give the best of both worlds scenario to our clients is, hey, you can go in, make those changes quick and easy whenever you want. If you're in over your head, you still have professionals there to help you.
So Web Wizard, for those of you who haven't maybe seen it, and you really should get in touch with REM and at least have a look at what it is. But it's a really easy to use program that, you know, even, you know, novices can get onto, because it speaks novices' language.
Yeah,
and it gives you the easy methodology of being able to toggle things on and add content and make changes to existing content.
Yeah, like I said, we basically took what we feel our clients would actually want to use and put that in there, and not jam it with things that people don't care about. And that's what a lot of other tools out there do, and it becomes so convoluted and difficult to go in and do the simplest things because you're trying to fish through a million other buttons. So we've really tried to make it as quick and easy to go in and do the things that our clients actually need to do. So.
And I think most people would probably look at that and say, you know, this is wow, this is great. You got the luxury of, having a big chamber of commerce and great relationships with your partners, but this is a small business tool.
Absolutely. I mean, we started focusing on, small business, and that's still a major part of our clientele. I certainly think, we're more than affordable when it comes to, to that, catering to that market, and certainly factoring in all the things that they get. I mean, we spend a lot of time doing custom design for our clients, and there's a lot of work that goes into that. Nothing's, picking from a template. It is all customized and unique, to what that company needs. So we're pretty proud of that.
So you and I were talking, communicating last week, actually, and you're saying 87% of Canadians use the internet, and Canadians spend the most time on average per month at 45 hours online. Yet only 54% of Canadian businesses have a website.
Yeah. So I was pretty shocked when I saw that.
Oh,
and
I can't believe that. I would not. I obviously you've looked into it, but I would have said, no, that's not true. Because you know what I do when I'm looking for a business, I Google it.
That's right. And every single person I ever ask, I do various seminars and speaking engagements. And one of the first questions I ask is, how many of you use the internet on a regular basis to research products or services? And every single person puts up their hands. I've never seen somebody that didn't. I personally, and I'm sure you feel the same way, probably don't know anybody in your circle of people that doesn't use the internet regularly.
No.
But there is, and that is obvious.
As you well know, I even have some low-tech staff, and they use the internet.
There you go. Yeah, but I mean, it's obvious with the fact that the stats from Stats Canada, it says 87% currently are using the internet, and that's growing by a couple percent every year. Yeah. That's a massive number. Yet again, only 54% of businesses have invested in doing a website. It's amazing. People would think, the only people I meet with these days are people looking at redoing websites. There are still tons of people, certainly in certain sectors more so than others, that have never invested in a website. And a lot of them are starting to see, yes, this is something that we need to do.
They're probably online surfing and searching as well. So.
Yeah.
So you knew what the number one thing was that I was looking for when we got together and talked about our website and redoing it and what I needed, because I was pretty passionate about that. Why don't you talk about, maybe that as well as some other things that, really people are really interested in when it comes to their website and their presence on the web?
Yeah. I'd say for sure the number one thing that most people are asking for consistently is how to improve their ranking. So obviously these are people with a website, or even people that don't have one, but know that it's important to be found.
So that's SEO, search engine
SEO
optimization.
Yeah. So I mean, typically when we talk about SEO, I refer to Google for obvious reasons. They still have by far the largest market share. And again, asking anybody around, what search engine do you use? I never hear anybody say anything about Google personally. So
in fact, isn't that the term? I'll just Google it.
Exactly. I think it's got to be a dictionary.
Nobody says
term.
Bing it.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't sound quite right. So, people are really curious on how to actually start getting that to work for them. I mean, there's two key factors when you're developing a site: is finding ways to get traffic to your site. So whether it's utilizing search engines, making sure that you publicize it through your traditional print methods like business cards and putting it on your truck and all your signage and so forth. So getting the traffic to your site, and then from there is making sure that the site is designed in such a way that it's going to actually get people to follow through with some sort of engagement with you. So we can talk about that in a second, but getting the traffic to your site is a key factor. I was a little complacent myself a couple years ago. We've been around for a little while, and we get a good number of referrals, and we were pretty happy with the amount of business that we had. I decided it was time to start getting a little more serious about growing to the next stage, and I figured, well, I better start taking search engines a little more serious for ourselves. And you can imagine how competitive it is in my industry to come up with good search engine rankings. These days, it really comes down to, again, based on Google, how often you change your content with good quality content that is relevant to what you're talking about, what you do. For years, the internet was full of, you use the word spam, and junk on websites, and people just throwing in keywords unnecessarily. And Google is smart enough to go through and read your website and say, does this make sense? Is this what they're about? And how often are they updating this? And does it relate to the things that they say they do? So, really, it's coming full circle now, and solidifying another reason why content management is really important. You know, being able to go and update your website that quick and easy, again, with good quality content. And there's lots of easy ways to do it. People go all the time, I don't have time, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to say. What we found works great is a blog. We have it integrated on our own website. You guys have it on the new site. And it's a great way to informally just talk about what's going on. So we use it as our news center. You know, it's we hired someone new, we want to introduce them to the world. We want to wish everyone a happy holidays, or we want to tell somebody about, you know, something new that we're doing, a new product, whatever. But while you're talking informally and naturally, and these are, you know, a couple paragraphs, they're not meant to be novels, and you're just talking, like I said, you know, very straightforward to people. You're naturally talking about those keywords that the search engines need to understand.
A good friend of mine who's in the social media world, Frank Kenny, he's from Portland, Oregon, actually. We connected through Chambers of Commerce, but, you know, we just had a session with Frank where he came up and talked to our members, and he's really talking about content marketing.
Yeah.
So this is not now about, it's not about, you know, putting an ad in the paper and saying we make the best pizza in town, come and buy a pizza from us. It's about delivering valuable content to the reader and delivering it through your website and through your social media site. So, and if you do it right, you know, he showed this matrix at the end of completing your circle. And right in the very center, where everything is driven from, is your blog.
Yep.
You do a good blog, you do the law of reciprocity, where you're giving something to them, some valuable information, then they'll reciprocate by doing something for you, which is maybe become a client or a customer. But then that's fed out to all of your other networks.
That's exactly the message I give to every one of our clients when they're, you know, overwhelmed with the whole social media world. And that can be another talk for another day, because that's a whole beast in itself. But what I tell people is your website, and then, you know, the blog is an easy tool to use, should be that hub and that focal point of your social media, and you drive people back. You give people teasers on Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever back to your website to drive in that traffic and to get them to read that content. But you know, so many people are getting bombarded with phone calls from companies to help them, you know, with their search engine rankings and so forth. And there's no doubt it's a worthwhile exercise to go through.
What you're saying is, if you keep that content fresh and relevant to what you do, that's going to really go a long way to keeping you
There's a
up.
couple initial things that you should do to your site. You may need to help, you know, get help from a professional, and we educate. You know, we're about educating our clients on the things they need to do, and give them the tools to do it, and they can very easily do it. But if you go in and keep that content fresh, certainly any business that is really marketing themselves locally, which is most small businesses are really focused on a local market for the most part, you're not usually going to have a hard time coming up with top rankings. Again, it's going to depend on how competitive your industry is. There's different factors. But for the average small business, the more time you invest in using the tools that we give you, you will have some pretty good success with it.
Now, when we first met, you know, we talked about, originally we sat down just like, you know, starting fresh, and you know, what elements do you want in your website, what you should be looking at for a design and all that kind of thing. Of course, then I gave you the 85 things that I wanted right there and accessible, which we can't do.
And then we said, why don't we ask your members, right?
Yes,
and that was a great starting point. So I mean, that's something.
So why not, as a business? Why not go out and ask your customers?
Exactly it. I've told a lot of our customers, if they have access to customers' emails and are, you know, in the type of relationship where they can actually ask them for assistance, you know, it's a great exercise to spend a few minutes doing a very small survey. It's amazing how many people are happy to answer those questions. Again, very small, meaning my personal advice is keep it under 10 questions, if not less than that.
Well, and I think actually Rob helped us put it together. We didn't know what questions to ask, but
exactly.
You know, you were kind enough to sit down and say, well, here's the 10 questions you should be asking.
Every question that you add, it'll be less likely someone will fill it out. So if you can keep it to 5, great. If you have to ask 10, fine. And you know, so a couple questions should be, in the Chamber's case, was focused around what are the things on the website that people use. Because a Chamber website, you know, as you know, is a challenge to lay out with the amount of information that you need to tell people about. But not everything is as important to others, to the members. So finding out what 90% of the members are looking for and making that front and center in the most valuable real estate on your website is the right thing to do. And making the other stuff that, yes, it is still used, but less frequently, a little bit more buried in, not as prime real estate, is the way you can accomplish that.
This is really great because, now that I know that 46% of the businesses probably in Cambridge don't have a website, we probably need to encourage them to go that route because the Yellow Pages is, in fact, I was asking someone around here the other day, does anybody have a Yellow Pages book? Not that I needed it, but I was just curious, and I don't think we have one in the building.
Well, from what I understand, they don't actually deliver the book anymore unless you ask for it, so that could be why.
Oh, probably.
I don't know if that started officially this year or not, so, the book has essentially ceased to exist, and again, unless you, I think, call and request
So,
it.
which is really saying, you know what, you got to be digital, you got to be on the internet some way, and you will also host the website.
Absolutely, we're full service. We take care of everything from design to integration into WebWizard. We also work with lots of other design companies that want to work with us as well. So if you have a design that you're already happy with, you just want to have these tools to be able to manage your site, we take care of that. And then we also take care of the hosting. We own all our own servers, and they're all located here locally. So we have lots of.
And they're
control over
fast.
that.
I've noticed they're really, really fast.
We invest quite a bit into keeping our technology as fresh and new as possible. A lot of hosting companies tend to squeeze every penny out of a machine until it's ready to die, and we try to be a little more proactive and replace them on a more frequent basis for sure. So.
Well, Rob, all I can say is REM did a fantastic job of our site. We're so happy with it. We just love the back end. That WebWizard is just an amazing tool. We can, certain individuals in our staff will have access to certain components that they're going to be responsible for. Lisa, of course, is going to get the whip out and make sure that we all do our jobs and keep that content fresh so that we can keep us relevant on the web as well. But you did a great job.
Thank you.
And your staff are outstanding. I know Lisa's been dealing quite a bit with your staff.
We're pretty proud. We've got a great team there.
You really do. And, I think certainly I love the fact that you're really trying to focus on these small businesses because small businesses not only need cost-effective solutions, they need effective solutions.
Yeah.
And, there's no question about it with your WebWizard, with the capabilities of your staff, certainly you have the package, and we're certainly happy to be partnering with you, and we're certainly excited about this beautiful new website.
Yes,
so.
likewise.
Thanks a million, Rob. And
Thanks
we're going to get you back because we're going to talk more about this SEO and social media and stuff like that because I think it's really important that people understand what they need to be doing for their website and what's going to keep them relevant, certainly from Father Google out there. That's
there's a lot of things you can do with your website that a lot of people haven't really thought about, and we can talk about that sometime and point out some of the things that are maybe less obvious but can really add a lot of value to your website. So
join us again for some more Tech Talk, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. See you, Rob.
Take care.